lie to you.
You get people that don't want to debate, but you have debaters.
Do you want to have a discussion?
Can I just say, this is my first time at Speaker's Corner. It's a really great day.
Welcome. So anyway, look, we can have a one-to-one. No other Muslims are interrupting except for this guy who's uninvited.
Because I want to have that one.
When he talks, he takes over the discussion. That's the reason I don't like it.
I was just having a conversation about borders, right?
About what?
About borders. I do not know.
Are you against immigration? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's not against all immigration.
What kind of immigration are you against?
Free immigration, where people are just rocking up on boats and then they're getting phones, they're getting houses, they're getting benefits and all these things, and then we're having our own pensioners who have just had. We've had our own pensioners had the winter fuel payment taken away from them. We have our youth being indoctrinated. Education is falling. The GDP is falling. Standard of living is crumbling, and we're just inviting people in and giving them a free ride. I think that's a problem.
Are you blaming all this on the immigration?
No, I'm blaming the people that put the system.
What about the government?
Sorry.
What about the government? The government is the one who is giving them the benefits, who is vetting these people, and without vetting, they can't get benefits.
Yes, which is why it's a problem with the government, right?
Exactly.
But,
not the immigration.
Yes, but right.
Sorry, not the immigrants.
Yeah. But when people are still coming over, regardless of who put them there, there are a lot of people. So, for instance, I use the example: if someone had come from France, a very westernized country, is more likely to come here, assimilate, and just live their lives as any other British person would, right? If you get someone from Afghanistan, assimilation is going to be less likely, and we're seeing it, right?
So you're saying unless they assimilate, they're not welcome here. Is that what you're saying?
I say, yeah, I think you should assimilate the Western culture.
What does assimilation mean in your worldview?
Accepting Western culture and accepting our laws here.
Okay, so now it became Western culture from Christian culture. Have you moved the goalpost? You have.
What do you mean?
Because earlier it was Christian culture. Now you're saying
this is a Western Judeo-Christian country.
They're not the same. They're not the same.
But that's what this country is. It doesn't matter if they're the same. That's what this country is.
This country is becoming less Christian.
Why is it becoming less Christian? Why is it becoming less Christian? Because we have open borders.
You're getting aggressive for no reason. Let's calm down. The reason it's becoming less Christian is because most people are tired of what they preach at the churches. Okay.
The churches are woke, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, so
I'll agree with you there. We have too many people in church saying that men can get married in the eyes of God. I have nothing against gay people. I have nothing against gay people being together. I have nothing against transgenderism. But the church's job is to preach the Bible. Deviation from the Bible is not acceptable. So it is in my view as well that the churches are woke, and that is why people are going to the church.
Culture is that clash with the Christian culture. Do you agree?
Sorry, say again.
A lot of the Western culture is actually at loggerheads with the actual Christian culture.
In what way?
For example, LGBTQ. Does Christian culture allow it?
Oh, by the way, do you know
I'm not talking to
the latest rankings for the trans rights in the UK?
This is what I'm saying. There are a lot of things which actually collide.
Yeah.
And this is where many of the young people are disillusioned because they don't know. Young people like you don't know. Are you for or against LGBTQ? Against. But that is against the Western culture.
Yes, but it's not. Yeah, but people can go and do what they want. I'm all for people doing what they want as long as they're not hurting anyone. But when it comes to indoctrinating people in schools, because the thing is LGBT, right? How many gay people are coming out now and saying, I'm not part of the LGBT, because it's become what it wasn't before, right? It's become an ideology, it's become an indoctrination, and now we're having trans kids and all these things, and they're mutilating themselves, they're taking hormone blockers and all these things. That's where it becomes a problem. You can do whatever you like.
You answered my question for me, you know why? Because earlier you mentioned assimilation.
Yes.
And you said they can do what they like as long as they're not forcing anyone.
They were born in this country.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. They were born in this country, they have English heritage, they have an inherent right to freedom here.
Not every LGBTQ is born in this country.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you're against...
No, you conflated my views on LGBT with assimilation, and they're two completely different things.
Okay, so the reason I mentioned LGBTQ is because the Western culture allows it. Okay?
Right,
the Christian culture does not allow it. And the Christian culture, you are for the Christian culture. That's the reason you said you're against the LGBTQ.
But no. I'm against the LGBTQ because it's become an indoctrination ideology. LGB used to be lesbians, gays, and bisexuals, right? Like I just said, how many gay people are coming out and saying, I do not want to be included in the LGBTQIA++, whatever the hell it is, right?
No, just because they leave the ideology, there are many who come in as well. So there are many people who are Christians and they want
Can
to
I
be
demonstrate
LGBT.
statistically how
They
they
want to
actually are
assimilate
leaving?
in the Western culture. So unlike you, they actually are not against the Western culture. They are not.
Okay.
Even though they might be Christian, they
I'll
still
speak.
don't mind being with that ideology of LGBT.
Yes, but
Even
in
though
the
it goes
yes,
against
but-
the Christian culture.
yes, but in the Western culture, these people have the right to go and do that as long as they're not hurting anyone, not harming children, and indoctrination is harming children. Right?
So where is the problem when immigrants come here and they say we want to speak our language or dress the way they want without harming anyone? Do you have a problem with that? No. At that time you say you want them to assimilate.
No, I have no problem with someone who wants to come to this country, assimilate and contribute, right? But someone who
What does assimilate mean?
just be accepting of Western culture. That is it.
But you're not accepting of Western culture. You're against LGBTQ.
By the way,
No, I've said about 3 times now, anyone can do whatever the hell they like, as long as they're not hurting anyone. That is Western. They have the freedom to do that, right?
Then
But
then your meaning of
indoctrinating
assimilation
children,
is a bit off.
you,
I really want to know what you mean by assimilation. When you say
I can't explain it anymore to you.
when you
Sister,
say
can I
they can
help
do
out
whatever
here?
they want, this
Go
is exactly
for it.
what the immigrants
Go for
say.
it.
They can do whatever they want as long as they're not hurting anyone.
so
That's
you
it.
just said that
I don't want to talk to you. I'll talk to her. Okay?
I
So
want to
this
give
is
a
what I'm
proper
saying.
Okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's fine. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. Because this is exactly what he wants, to stop the discussion.
No, quite frankly, I've tried to explain myself time and time again. I don't
I was
think you're
trying
quite
to show
understanding
you
my
the
point.
clash between the Christian culture
Can I
and
give
the
you a
Western
statistic
culture.
that
I
actually
was trying to show you
demonstrates that the
But yes,
What you
and
said-
there is a clash because otherwise this country would be ultra traditionalist, right? And it's not. There is
So
because
you
of
enjoy the variety, right?
but that's the thing. It's a choice.
Immigrants
It's a
bring the
choice.
variety. Do you realize that?
No.
Yes, they do. Why do they not? Look at, you know,
What kind of variety do you mean?
London celebrates multiculturalism.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Not particularly.
Exactly. So you're against Western culture once again. You
No,
keep proving
because
that to me.
no, because
time and time again.
because Western culture, right? When I'm talking about Western culture, I'm referring to that as one culture.
It's not one culture.
No, I'm referring to right. Oh, okay. Right, yeah.
culture
You're
is
just
not one culture.
You're not understanding what I mean.
Most people
right?
in this country, they enjoy the variety of multiculturalism, unlike you,
Right.
right? So you're among the minority, not the majority.
Okay.
And that, if that is
Your
news
point-
for you, then you need to understand that
Point is-
what you have been preaching and advocating all this time about
I haven't been
assimilation,
preaching. I was having a one-to-one conversation with a friend. Right.
all that thing you're talking about,
Yeah.
it goes against the Western culture as well.
So do you think that as someone who's coming into this country, let's say someone's coming from Syria or Afghanistan, do you think that they should assimilate at all?
Well, like I said, if your meaning of assimilation is to become Western, that
Okay,
means,
so right, recognizing law,
Yeah.
right?
Of course,
Right.
if they don't recognize the law, then they should be punished according to the law.
Right.
I'm all for that.
Okay.
And that has got nothing to do with assimilation.
No.
That's to do with
Right,
obeying the law.
speaking
if,
English,
If they were
right?
if they were in Afghanistan, they will have to obey the law there.
Yeah.
If they were in England, they'll have to obey the law over here.
Yeah.
So just because a Westerner goes to Dubai, do you think they assimilate? No, they don't. They go about doing their daily chore or their job or whatever it is. They speak English still. Nobody's forcing them to speak Arabic over there. There are lots of Westerners who would go there for the tax-free haven that it is.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of money. They earn a lot of money. They are more than happy to take the children there because a lot of safety is there. Imagine this. There's safety on the roads, tax-free, and they get paid a lot. Plus, some of the companies, they pay for the education, free healthcare. Yes, all of this. Why do you think they are not there saying, the local people are saying, let these people assimilate, otherwise get rid of them? No, because they are accommodating. As long as they obey the law, they have no issues. Why can't you do the same?
Because they're accommodating. But I'm sorry, but the high rates of migration, what we're seeing is people walking around London with machetes out. And I'm sorry, but
Tell that to the government.
that's not assimilation.
No, machetes is not something anyone agrees with. In fact, I can guarantee you this. Those children who are there, I call them children because recently I think a 15-year-old killed some 14-year-old something, yes? These are children. They shouldn't be having those machetes.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be having those, what do you call them, hunting knives.
Yeah.
You know where they get them from?
Okay.
Online, eBay. It's openly.
Yeah, that's what they
it's
get.
so easy to get it.
Yeah.
So you see, this is the.
But again,
this is the
if
job
you
of the government.
yes,
to
but
stop
if you
them.
remember when you said a similar point earlier, I said that my issue isn't just with the migrants that are coming over; it's with the government that are putting them there. And I said that, and you just blew right past it.
I did.
You did.
I said
you did. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said what you just said.
I did say that this is a problem of the government. If you watch the videos, it's been recorded.
Yes.
I did say earlier as well that the blame also has to go on the government who allows all these things. For example,
and you'll see me saying that as well. So we agree.
I'll tell you what. Look, in Islam, there are certain things which are forbidden, which are haram, prohibited. Yes. Okay, gambling, alcohol, adultery, fornication. Which one are you for or against?
None of them.
None of them, right?
Yeah.
You know that is Islamic culture and the Christian. And
I'm not a drinker, Will. Come on, you're a drinker. I'm not.
Oh, he's a drinker. Okay, that's good. You're not a drinker. But you see, do you know why all of these are allowed here?
Because of Western culture.
Yes. And do you know the harms because of that?
Yeah. No.
Much more than any immigration has done to this day.
I will agree with you that there are bad points to Western culture, because otherwise, we wouldn't be.
By the way, these are not just bad points. These are the points which impact every part of the society. And I'm talking about not just the individual who gambles or drinks or fornicates or commits adultery, but him, his family, his maybe his neighbors, his entire society. It impacts the NHS. Yes, because every Saturday night, you probably might have seen this in Leicester Square or other places where there's nightlife, clubs and stuff like that. There are people, very educated, but on that night, on Saturday night, they're puking on the roads. Many of them actually commit a lot of things which are actually a crime. Yes? Crime against women, because they might spike their drink or something.
Yeah.
You see, a lot of things happen every Saturday night and every Friday night because of these things. Does the government do anything about it? No. They let billions of dollars from the NHS just go to waste because of this culture which you're talking about. This culture is something which allows them to do this.
And again, and that's wrong. At no point have I ever stood here and advocated that the government is doing a fabulous job.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not.
I didn't say you did that. So what I'm saying is that if the government was sensible, then they would have actually put restrictions to this. Yes?
Yes.
But the reason they don't, you know what?
We need to have strong borders.
Do you know why they don't do it?
Go then.
Because they get money from it. It's a huge source of revenue.
Yeah.
The alcohol is like $1 billion industry. Cigarettes, $1 billion industry. But they know all of this harms the body.
Including
drugs.
drugs.
Oh, yeah,
They do know. Same thing with the adultery. It destroys families, destroys the individual. Gambling, it destroys again the individual, the family, his friends, all of these things. You heard of Peter Shilton?
No.
Peter Shilton used to be a goalkeeper for England. Very famous, used to take part in the World Cup and so on. Yes,
I don't follow
he became
sport.
a huge gambler.
Okay.
Yes, this guy was very respectful. He lost all of that.
Yeah.
He lost his respect, his dignity, his family, his friends, all of them one by one, because of the addiction to gambling. You know what? Islam nips all of this in the bud, and it says it's haram. A lot of
it takes away our fundamental rights as Englishmen.
but hold on. He mentioned rights. Do you agree with him?
Yes.
You agree with him?
Yes.
So everyone should have the right to drink, to fornicate, to commit adultery, to gamble.
It's not something that should be justified in a court of law. These are things that happen within like a personal realm.
No, the question is, should the government put restrictions on this?
No.
No. So then, this is not Christian.
No, because we're not under Christian law. We're not under Christian
Why did
law.
you cast the first stone?
No,
don't try. No,
did he not cast the money lenders out of the church?
No, he did not cast the first
Did he not
stone.
cast the money lenders out?
So anyway, you see, this is where I was talking about earlier, that the clash of cultures will always remain. Whether you bring immigrants or you don't bring immigrants, that is going to be there.
Yeah.
So trying to blame the unemployment, all the inflation, all of this on immigrants is wrong. There are certain things, there are many factors which take place which are in play here, not just the immigrants.
Yeah, which
So you don't make them the scapegoats, please.
Which again, I said earlier, which will be on camera since you like to point out, I did say I don't just place the blame on the immigrants, I'm putting the blame on the government that is also putting them there.
So now we're in agreement.
However, it is also down to the individual to know that everyone has an innate sense of of right and wrong. Right?
It's subjective.
Okay.
Do you disagree with that? Good and bad is always subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll give an example. What are your thoughts on abortion? For or against?
Against.
Against. What are your thoughts on abortion?
Only before the development of consciousness. After consciousness, it would become.
I think in the instances of rape, I think it's a bit circumstantial, but it's my belief that the cutoff should be 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. You know, in this country, you got millions of abortions.
Oh yeah, no, and I don't agree with it. Yeah, no,
Yeah?
and it's
I'm talking
abhorrent.
about over the years, yeah?
Yeah, no. And there are women that are aborting their babies when they're like 30 weeks, and it's absolutely.
No, I'm not even talking about
evil.
that. Most of the abortions that take place, it's not because of rape. It's not because of some problem with the health or something.
I didn't say it was.
In fact, in Islam, those are the factors which actually would allow abortion. And this is again a disagreement amongst the scholars. But many scholars do allow that. But most of the abortions that take place in this country is because unplanned pregnancy.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yes?
Yeah.
Thousands of babies die because of it.
Yeah.
You know, you said until they develop consciousness. Yes? This is something that I disagree with, because, you know, when you were in your mom's womb, you know what she called you? When you had no consciousness and she knew she was pregnant, she said, my baby. Why did she say that? Because she valued life.
Yeah.
She valued you. And our mothers valued us.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This is what I'm saying, that potential life.
I agree with you on that.
So, for example, if I'm brain dead, like my entire consciousness is gone, my body happens to still be breathing and alive. I can't feel, can't experience anything.
Your family would still like to keep you alive.
That's how I started this lovely conversation with. He's run away. He's scared of the cameras.
You know what he just said? I can bet you that his family loves him, that even if he's brain dead, they would like to keep him on the machine. They would like to keep him alive until they see no more cause to him ever.
I would not wish to be that.
No, God brings life, God takes life away. If God decides to take me one day, I do not want to be hooked up to a machine.
But abortion is something which is done voluntarily, okay? And all the rights is only given to the mother. What about the right of the baby? What about the right
I'm not
of the
debating
father?
about. I agree with you on this. I don't know why you're trying to debate me on abortion. I'm pro-life.
No,
I don't.
I'm not debating. I'm just making a point.
It seems very debatory, though.
That's your point of view. I'm saying that this is my perspective.
Right.
That nobody asks the baby for his rights or the father for his rights.
Yeah.
Because all of them are involved in making that baby, or sorry, in the life of that baby. So what I'm saying is that this is something that we have to take into consideration. There are many things which the morals we get are from religion. Yes?
Yeah.
You seem like a good Christian individual. You take your morals from your Bible, right? Yeah? And there are many people like that. And they actually say, yes, we don't want all these problems. But many people, unfortunately, blame it only on the immigrants. I'm not saying you're like that. Yes? By the way, you should stop smoking as well.
I know.
Okay. So this is something that we have to understand, that yes, you can't make them as scapegoats.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm saying that you have to keep things in balance, in perspective. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But many people, unfortunately, they see Sharia, they have to be like terrorists, they're killing. This is completely wrong. Islam never teaches killing any innocent man.
What about, hang on a minute.
For those wherever you find them,
Yes.
cut off every single one of their fingertips.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Go on. I challenge you, because
Chapter 9,
what he
chapter 13.
quoted from chapter 9, he quoted verse 5. He hasn't read verse 6. Because
does
that
verse 6
verse
say?
5 is talking about people who have broken a treaty. A treaty was established between the Muslims and the non-Muslims in Medina.
Yeah.
The treaty said, can I
Every
finish?
single one of them.
Can I finish, please? Are you a Christian, by the way?
No.
Thank God. Because you'll be in trouble if you were. Okay, so in chapter 9, it's talking about a treaty which the condition of which was, if it was broken, then there will be consequences. Guess what the consequences was? Yeah, it'll be death. The consequences of that will be death. Now, it says very clearly, no, not the women and children. Islam never, ever says to kill women and
Actually
children.
states that not to kill kids, women, elderly,
Yes.
even trees.
Okay,
we
what
don't
about
harm
the
trees
men
and
who didn't
animals.
break the treaty? Did you kill them?
No, they were not killed. And this is what I'm saying. In fact, even the ones who broke the treaty, if you read verse 6, it says if they come and ask for peace, establish peace with them. Do not go over the means. That means do not kill them unnecessarily. So you have been brainwashed by obviously the media, because you work for the media, isn't it? You work in the media. And then you actually spill out all this propaganda because you just regurgitate it without checking any facts. It is your duty as a press person to go and verify the facts and not go and run on the fake news you have been produced.
Every week?
I am, alhamdulillah, every Sunday.
Okay, then what I'll do is I'll
Yes.
come back with a copy of the Quran in English.
I've got a copy here. Do you want one?
Yes.
Okay,
Shall I
let's
go for
open
it?
let's
Shall I
open
go for
chapter
it?
9 verse 5. Bring him a Quran. You got a Quran?
I'll bring one.
A copy of the Quran.
I'll bring one.
All right, Jazakallah.
Wait, do you want the mic?
Yeah, we can read that. And if you're wrong, you're going to apologize in front of the camera.
read what verse?
Shall we do that?
I don't know whose mic this is.
Yeah? Shall we do that? You're going to apologize in front of the camera that you were spreading false news.
I'm going to read it first.
Discuss with him.
Shall we do that?
We're having a debate. I wasn't spending.
No, but if
I asked a question.
See how he doesn't want to.
I asked a question.
I asked a question as well.
Anyway, my lanyard's
You were
gone
spreading
now.
fake news.
What happened in that conversation there with the gentleman?
So I was actually, I was live streaming earlier, and then we packed it up and we thought, we'll head off soon. And then I just started getting into a lovely conversation with a couple of gentlemen about borders and about my views on immigration, and how it's of my view that in Britain, the British people should be the priority. And then what I will say is it's my first day in Speaker's Corner, so this is a first for me. But then people started gathering round, then there's like 7 cameras on me all of a sudden, people are putting mics on and everything, so yeah.